Hey guys, this is Woodshop Junkies, and today I'm going to take another swing at making a retractable mount by beefing up the design I built in my previous video. If you watched that video, you would remember that this one turned out to be a flop because it isn't nearly stable enough. Now, after posting my failure, I got a lot of input and ideas from you guys on how I can better my design. Now, while considering all of this input, I designed my updated and hopefully stronger version of the arm. My first objective is going to be stabilizing the primary mounting and also strengthening the links in the first stage. To do this, I've reconsidered the hinge mechanism at the base, and for the links I'm going to double up in thickness and add a third one. Hopefully this will greatly increase the strength and stability of the first stage of my arm. So, as you can see, I'm trying to strengthen my primary mounting by simplifying my design and using more robust components. I've also increased the overall length of the primary hinge in an effort to stabilize the assembly by minimizing the effects of any play between the pipe and the pipe holders. Then, I'm not going to be installing a lock like I did with my previous design. Instead, I'm going to add washers at the top and the bottom of the rotating piece, making for a nice and tight fit. I'm hoping that this would create a type of a friction grip that would prevent this part from rotating freely. Right, so this is pretty much what the beefed up configuration of stage 1 of my arm is going to look like. Hopefully it will add the stability that is lacking in the previous version. But to assemble all the components, I'm still going to use the same method as I did before, so if you didn't watch the previous video, you will find the link in the description down below. Okay, so this version already feels way more stable. Now I can fix my first stage to my wall mount. To do this part of my primary mounting or my wall mount is going to be installed over here using glue and strengthened with nails. When the assembly is completed, this will form my primary joint. With stage 1 and the base fixed together, I can note a dramatic increase in strength and stability, while eliminating the need for a lock on the primary joint or the primary hinge has helped simplify the design. You will also notice that I decided against a pivot point between the first stage and the second stage of my arm like I did with my original design. The reason for this is a weak point, and I felt that the functionality it adds does not justify how much weaker it makes the design. Right, so next I'm going to add the second stage of my arm in much the same way as the first, except it's going to be slightly shorter and it's only going to be 2 links instead of 3. Right, so this is my adapted, simplistic approach to strengthening and stabilizing my previous design. And keeping with this approach, I'm hoping to eliminate the need for locks like these. Instead, the idea is that tension can be applied by tightening these nuts to a point where balance can be found between the movability of the links and their ability to stay and carry load in whichever position they are placed in. Now I obviously can't use my camera to test the arm because I'm using it to record this, so instead I'm going to use a clamp. The clamp has more or less the same weight as the camera, so it should give me a good idea of the arm's ability to carry the weight. For an extra measure, I'm going to put 2 clamps on to see how the arm behaves. And it seems to carry the weight just fine. So my final step is going to be adding my camera mount, and my arm would be pretty much finished. So definitely a huge improvement on version 1. And that's pretty much it. No springs or locks required. The design seems to work just fine. So the arm is working, but more importantly it is strong and stable. So I want to thank everybody who gave me their input and helped me to redeem myself from my previous failure. Now you may have also noticed that I've gotten a larger bench drill, so one of my next videos will likely be building a stand for it. If you want to see that and you aren't subscribed yet, you should do that now. And with that comes the end of this video. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, cheers.